Okay, what are you going to do, Ray?
I'm going to put Dr. Borio.
Dr. what?
Dr. who?
Dr. Joe.
Okay.
And just pretend. We just pull you over just a little bit. And I want you to put your knees like this. And I'm going to feel you back. What are you doing? I'm playing Dr. Joe.
Okay, what else, Ray?
What else does Dr. Joe do?
He sounds your head. Okay, I will help you up here. No time doing. No time.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Joe Borio with Chiropractic Consulting. Happy New Year to all. We are going to discuss some strategies on practice and retaining those people that are part of your practice. I think probably the biggest misconception in practice is that we need more and more new people in your practice in order for it to grow. So, certainly new people in your practice are important, but the reality is, I think what we really need to do is focus on learning to keep people once they come in, establishing a relationship with those people that come in your practice. So I want to discuss that with you for a few minutes, and I want to discuss some strategies here over the next few minutes on how to keep those people that you bring into the practice, keep them part of the practice, certainly grow more people from them. In other words, their circle of influence, mother, father, children, co-workers, other family members. How do we bring them in? Because you're trying to create a community in your practice. You're certainly trying to create a tribe. So after I discuss this, I want to also discuss a great offer that we want to bring you in and expose you more to chiropractic consulting. We're going to have an event in Las Vegas. So at the end of this, I certainly want to discuss an offer about that and how to certainly earn some free discs, some free information, more not only about chiropractic, but about philosophy and the science of chiropractic. So that being said, a phrase that I've coined is be good at getting them, be great at keeping them. How do we get great at keeping people that come into your practice? How do we get great at establishing a relationship with those people that you bring in the practice? Because establishing a relationship with those people is critical. And they're going to be people that you want to have a relationship with long term. And I think some people think that way, but we don't implement the proper strategies in order to create that relationship. So the best place to start is this. Throw out the idea that it's a doctor, patient, throw out the idea that it's a chiropractic member. Throw out all that for a minute and just step back for a moment and think about how you like to be maybe treated, how you like to be cared for, how do you like to be in a relationship with another person or a group of other people. What would you expect from them? We certainly want to be recognized. We certainly want to be appreciated. We certainly want to feel comfortable. We want to also allow ourselves to be vulnerable, but we don't want to be on the defense. We want to be in a relationship that feels good. It makes us feel good. Many times the reason we're in certain relationships or we choose certain people is because we like how we feel when we're around that group of people. So I think that's a really important place to start, because sometimes we forget that really the relationship is learning how to be with other people. And that's really what is important in your practice. So how you say hello to people, how you greet them, how you recognize them. Do you show other people that you appreciate them? Do you tell them that it's an honor to be their doctor, or that you appreciate being their doctor, or that you appreciate them trusting them with your health, that you like having them as a member of your practice? I mean, these are conversations that need to be recognized. Do you send cards to people when something good happens, when they get a promotion at work, when something great happens in their life, or maybe something doesn't happen that's great, or they get married, or they get engaged, or they graduate high school, they graduate college, or something else happens? Again, you're having you're having a relationship with somebody else. And I think why that's important is we want people to feel part of that community. We want people to feel part of a tribe, if you will, in your practice, because that's what you're growing. You're growing a membership practice. So that being said, we need to create that type of an environment for those people that are part of your practice. Now, if we add to that again, or add back to what I told you to take away, if we add back now the idea of the doctor-patient or the chiropractic member type mindset practice, what we have to add to all of that now is the idea of value, the idea of what the nervous system is, having them recognize that, listen, their nervous system is critical. It's important for their body to work well, and that they can do all these other things for their health, which are really important that I do. Exercise and eat good and green drinks and detoxification. And all those other things are great, whether you utilize that in your practice or not. But understanding all those other things are certainly not of any great value if they don't have a very healthy nervous system. So we need to educate them on the nervous system, and then we need to educate them on what can happen to the nervous system as a result of subluxation. Hey, listen, when the spine gets crooked, when it gets misaligned, when it gets shifted, and we can use certain tests to measure that, we're going to see that the nervous system isn't working as well. The brain can't transport messages to the body, to the organs, as well as it's supposed to, and therefore what's going to happen to the body? Well, the body's going to start a process of becoming sick. It's going to start to get disease, the liver, the lungs, the kidney, the back, the muscles, all the nerves. The body's not going to work as well. It's going to start to break down faster than it would typically repair itself. We're shutting down life to different parts of the body, and as a result, they'll get sick and diseased and ill. And the only way to restore that function, the only way to restore what I like to refer to as the transport system, that the only way to do that is to restore or reduce, sometimes you can't fully correct, reduce the subluxation and improve the brain's ability to send messages through the nerves to those body parts, allow the body to work as well as they're supposed to. That has to happen all the time. It has to happen all the time. That means you need to be discussing that concept. We hear people say, talk about the story or the chiropractor. Well, what does that mean, really? Well, what it means is, not that you're going to tell somebody every time, hey, this is who Dee Dee was, this is who B.J. Palmer was, this is who Mabel Palmer or Stevenson or all these other great mentors. These are these people, and this is what happens, and this is the history of chiropractic and what happened with Harvey Lillard. That's not the way to keep people in the practice and to get people to refer and so forth. That they should know the history, that story, but the truth and the accuracy of this is that we need to constantly nurture the idea of the nervous system and what can happen to it, and what your role as a chiropractor, what your role is in keeping the nervous system working as well as it's supposed to. That means that their body is under regular stress all the time. And to say that it's chemical or emotional or physical, when we use those words, that's great as a lecture, or if I'm speaking to a group of chiropractors, or I'm listening to other chiropractors discuss the cause of subluxation. That's great. Don't get me wrong. That's great. But that doesn't benefit. There's no value to the average person when you speak that way. But when you say to somebody, listen, the spine can go out of alignment for many different things. We're under stress all the time. So how you sit, your posture, I'm sure you've been involved in different accidents or traumas. I'm sure that you rode a bike for the first time without your training wheels. How well did that test ride go for you? I'm sure you learned to walk. You learned to walk by doing what? Now, it may seem foolish or silly to you, but we asked you about your birth process. We asked you that question for a reason, because we know scientifically that the birth process, even traditional vaginal birth, is the most traumatic, or one of the most traumatic experiences for the spine and nervous system to undergo. And we know that many times the first subluxation can occur right at birth. Right at birth. That's why we insist on checking babies immediately after birth, or young children, as soon as we can, to see if they too have subluxation early in life that would jeopardize the health or integrity of the nervous system. These are questions or conversations that we need to get into all the time. We need to have babies around the office, baby models, if you will. We need to have a pediatric table. We need to have forceps, which you can get on, on the internet or eBay or whatever. We need to have toothbrushes. We need to have telephone wires. We need to have every model that we can, every tool. That's the word I'm looking for. Every tool possible to use as an educational device or tool to help them understand what it is we do, why what we do is valuable, why the nervous system is valuable. Those are critical moments. Then we need to have moments with frequent reevaluation, so what we call nerve impulse checkups. So we want to do frequent times where we can spend, when I say an intimate moment, I mean a socially intimate moment, meaning that we can spend a few moments with somebody privately, do a review of why they came in, what the concerns are that we found, where there was subluxation, where the nerves are being jeopardized as far as the health and integrity, what organs, what body parts are affected by those specific areas, if you will, and then what it is we need to do regularly in order to check those areas that are subluxated in an effort to reduce the subluxation and allow the body to work better or as well as it was intended to do. And those happen through frequent reevals. And then what we do on those reevals is one of the parts, there's many parts of a reexam that we train you on, but one of the important parts is acknowledgement, appreciation, recognition. Telling people, Bob, I want to tell you how much I enjoy having you part of the practice, what an honor it is to be your chiropractor, what an honor it is to have you and your family trust me with your health. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I look forward to being your chiropractor for years to come or for the rest of your life. I look forward to being the chiropractor for your family for the rest of your life. I mean, why not say that? You want that, so why not say that? Allow them to recognize, as well as you, how important it is to have them under care and how important it is to you and how meaningful it is to you to have them a part of your practice and a part of your life. This is what establishing relationships are about. If we talk about symptoms, then when the symptoms go, we have nothing to talk about. And therefore they're gone. If we're talking about sports or the weather, what we're doing inadvertently, we don't mean to, but we're establishing a relationship based upon something that has nothing to do with the value of why they're there. And what happens is the value of why they're there becomes diluted over time and they leave. And when they leave, many times the other people in that circle, they leave along with them. And then what happens is the practice is in constant need of bringing new people in. So there's a lot of great coaches out there. There's a lot of great mentors out there that talk about bringing new people in. Certainly I'm one of those people that teach you and train you on different ways, whether it's lunch and learn, dinner with a doc, doing screenings, doing corporate talks, doing a lecture series, doing patient appreciation days. I mean, I could go on and on. Those are all important. I'm not saying ignore those or those aren't significant or important to the practice. They are. But, we don't need to be phenomenally great at bringing truckloads of new people into your practice if you're keeping them in your practice. You bring in 5, 6 new people a week, and each one of those people have the ability to bring in 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 other people, and you nurture that relationship. Boy, all you need to do is bring in 4, 5, 6 new members to the practice on a regular basis. Learn to keep them and get a PVA that's 200, 300 or higher. Next thing you know, you have a very stable, fun practice. You have people that are there for wellness care. You have people that are there that value what it is you do. And then what happens is your adjustment time becomes fun, it becomes educational, it becomes energizing rather than you doing a mini evaluation or a mini exam or discussing symptoms ad nauseum, which in the end really don't have a lot to do with what it is you offer them. Because the reality is your effort is to get them healthy. And you're going to do that by relieving pressure to the nervous system, by allowing the spine to be in better alignment or less or better mobility, and therefore the nervous system can work better, and therefore the body works better. They're healthier, and your role as a chiropractor is fulfilled. And then what you need to do is learn to discuss the lifelong caring of their nervous system through regular checks in the spine or regular care throughout the rest of their life. And you're going to have these conversations on a regular basis because you're going to forward place them all the time. You're always going to discuss what the next step is and what they're going to need to do, not what you want, but what they're going to need to do in an effort to keep their nervous system healthy, their wife's nervous system healthy, their children's nervous system healthy, their coworkers, other family members, how to keep the rest of everyone in their circle, their influence, circle of influence, how to keep them healthy for a lifetime. That's how you do it. That's where you get great at keeping them. You get great at learning how to keep them part of your practice, how to keep them part of your family. And really to kind of go back to what I started with, it really comes down to relationships. How is it that you can be in a long-term relationship with somebody? One of the biggest complaints is a lack of recognition or appreciation. So knowing that, you got to know when you step into any relationship with a practice member that and your staff and what have you, that you need to nurture that relationship by showing appreciation to them every day and being present with them and educating them and having the responsibility that you now know of what chiropractic is, that your role is to keep their nervous system healthy and their family's nervous system healthy for a lifetime. That's your role as a chiropractor. I could go on for hours. In fact, I will in Las Vegas on the 25th and 26th. We're going to be at the Luxor in Las Vegas. And it's going to be a beautiful venue. It's a beautiful room. It's probably going to be the biggest event we've ever had for Chiropractic Consulting. We're really excited about that. So my offer is this. Our normal introductory fee for any new doc coming to the event is $97. And normally it's over $300. We do that as an introductory fee because we want you to have an opportunity to see who we are, see the other chiropractors that we're honored to be working with on a regular basis, and really get a taste of what Chiropractic Consulting is about. We're going to cut that fee in half. So it's going to be under $50 for a doctor and their staff, for a doctor and the entire staff to come in and evaluate who it is we are and really get have a great life-changing experience about transforming yourself personally and your practice so that you can reach the best goals that you want to reach here in 2013. That's number one. Number two, if you register from this event, from this webinar, and we certainly would love to have you do that, for the Las Vegas event, I have a great disc, and it's a philosophy disc. It's a disc of a recording from a presentation that I made this past year for about an hour and a half just on philosophy. So if you register from this event, this webinar, for the Vegas event and show up, we'll have a disc for you at no charge, that DVD at no charge for you. We'll give it to you at the door. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you tuning in to tonight's webinar. May your innate always flow from above down, inside out. Have fun serving those people with chiropractic, and have a great 2013. Let's make 2013 the year of the tech. Thank you so much, guys. See you in Vegas.
Best friend gave me the best advice. He said each day's a gift and not a given right. Leave no